Mr. White, in this matter, you're before the court charged with civil contempt of court due to your failure to pay child support and or related expenses. Upon a first conviction, you could be ordered to serve up to 45 days in jail. If it's a second or subsequent offense, up to 90 days in jail. You understand the charges?
Yes, sir.
Court would advise you have a right to an attorney. The court would appoint an attorney to represent you should you desire an attorney. It's my understanding you wish to proceed without an attorney. Is that correct?
Yes.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone threatened you, coerced you, used any undue influence, pressure, or promises to get you to appear without an attorney?
No, sir.
Court will find that Mr. White does freely and voluntarily waive his right to an attorney. Mr. White, I'm going to have you and Ms. Barrington raise your right hands. We'll have you sworn in, and then we'll proceed.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. You can put your hands down. Ms. Barrington, you can proceed.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. White has 3 dockets with Brenda the court. They are docket numbers 2005-2214 DS, 2008-1581 DP, and 2018-297 DP. And we are here today for an adjourned enforcement hearing. On docket 2005-2214 to Shawn Bevins versus Alvin White, Mr. White's total monthly obligation is $51.50. There is not current support as the minor child is emancipated. He is ordered to pay $48 per month on arrears and $3.50 per month service and processing fees. His last payment on this docket was $1 on November 27th, 2023. This is his 8th show cause. He's had 5 bench warrants and he's had 3 contempt findings. The last contempt finding was in 2013. He was sentenced to 30 days. I have monitored his compliance for the last 2 months since the last hearing date at $51.50 per month. He should have paid $103 and he has paid $0. The shortfall at the time of the last hearing was $355.50 for a total shortfall of $458.50. His total arrears remaining on this docket are $5,415.54. On docket 2008-1581 DP, Brenda Thomas versus Alvin White, his total monthly obligation is $348.50. That's $230 for current support. He should be paying $115 per month on arrears according to guideline and $350 per month for service and processing fees. His last payment was $108.98 on January 3rd, 2024 through income withholding. This is his 8th show cause. He's had 5 bench warrants and he's had 3 contempt findings, the last being in 2013. I have monitored his compliance for the last 2 months at $348.50 per month. He should have paid $697 and he has paid $108.98. The shortfall at the time of the last hearing was $2,765.50 for a total shortfall of $3,353.52. His total arrears are $8,541.62. On docket 2018-297 DP, Amber Terry versus Alvin White, his total monthly obligation is $227. $149 for current support. He should be paying $74.50 per month on arrears according to guideline and $350 per month for service and processing fees. His last payment was $70.61 on January 3rd, 2024 through income withholding. This is his 3rd show cause. He's had 2 bench warrants and 0 contempt findings on this docket. I've monitored his compliance for the last 2 months at $227 per month. He should have paid $454. He has paid $70.61. The shortfall at the time of the last hearing was $2,283.50 for a total shortfall of $2,666.89. His total arrears on this docket are $7,270.59. Mr. White has been participating in LEAP since August, but it does not appear that Mr. White is fully utilizing the program, as he continues to state he just doesn't make enough to meet his ordered obligations, despite his current obligations being lowered at the end of November.
Okay. Mr. White, do you dispute or contest any of the statements made by Miss Barrington?
Far as the utilizing of the LEAP program, I've done everything I could. They said they couldn't help me until I fully made the requirements of the payments. I have been working diligently at finding a decent job far as my income, because my original barbershop was an independent owned barbershop and we worked off a commission, and they wouldn't accept that as a tax deductible, whatever, however you said it, although we have a platform where it is. So I went and found another job and I'm working there now, and that's where everything's coming out of. It was just over the Christmas months, the holiday months, we were a lot closed down, so I didn't have a lot of income, and with me being a new hire.
Okay.
So as of this point, I am currently working and trying to meet every obligation I can.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Miss Barrington?
Other than I understand the situation with my rearages, because I've been working constantly until I got injured maybe in 2020, where everything ceased to a halt and I was supposed to get unemployment and my child support was supposed to be taken out of there. I started school to switch my careers for I can actually meet my requirements. I got out of school, I got my license, and I'm trying to meet all obligations. I'm not trying to run from anything. The way things worked out, I never received the unemployment, so it never showed up as payments, which is the reason I'm so far in rearages.
Okay. Do you have any questions for Miss Barrington?
No, sir.
Okay. What else would you like to tell me, sir?
That I'm working and I'm paying everything should be coming out of my checks. I'm not gonna not fail to work. I still take care of my kids outside of work. Like if they need anything, I go get them. It's all I can do is tell you the truth, sir. I'm doing the best I can. I'm working. I'm trying to meet every obligation. I'm not trying to run from anything. At this present point in time in the barbering world, I started working. I picked up other jobs if I could. I'm doing the best I can.
Okay, when you say you pick up other jobs, what do you mean by that?
I tried to do door dashing, but my vehicle didn't work out. So I did DoorDash for maybe a month or so to try to keep my child support up. When back before November, I tried. They said that still wasn't, qualified as. I just did whatever I could.
Okay, are you working at the current barber shop you're working? Are you working full time?
It's not open 7 days a week. It's only open 5 days a week. I'm working four out those days. So I don't know if it's considered full time. It's about between 20 and 30 hours usually.
Okay, well, that's not full time.
Yes, that's all they allow me right now because I'm a new hire.
Okay. What's your education background, sir?
I have a high school diploma and I just graduated from barber school.
Okay. Aside from the barbering, do you have other expertise or any work history that you can rely upon?
I did a lot of factory work, but my body, I'm older. I've had a lot of injuries and I can't perform those deeds. I'm a factory now because of my legs and my shoulders. I'm supposed to have surgeries, but I can't afford those to try to help these out. I'm an artist. I'm really no, not unless I go back to school and find another trade. I've been working in foster care when I was younger, but all my degrees and my license from that, my CPR and med passings, I would still have to go back to school to redo those. It's been so long.
Okay. Anything else you'd like to tell me?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, tell me, what are you going to do again next week, next month, et cetera, that you're not doing now that will bring you into compliance?
I can look for an additional job as I have been and just keep working and try to get more hours. Like I said, I'm a beginning hire. As a new hire, fresh out of school, I had to work up my hours. So, and the store itself doesn't have enough days where they're open because they don't have the employees to do everything. We just got a manager at this establishment. That's probably why the paperwork was delayed.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Terry, is there anything you'd like me to be aware of?
Good.
You're muted, ma'am. You have to unmute. Lower right corner of your screen.
There we go. I think I've been trying to do that. Not really. I just wish he'd be a part of his daughter's life, but that's a whole different situation.
Okay.
If he's not going to do that, I'd appreciate the financial part. I mean, some support would be great.
Okay.
In that matter, may I speak on it?
No, because that's not necessary as it relates to payment of support. So,
All right, thank you.
anything else, Ms. Barrington?
That's all, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, in this matter, Mr. White, the court's heard the testimony. Obviously, you have a substantial arrearage in the three cases, well in excess of $20,000. Court again give you some credit. You've looked for work. You've apparently found some, but it's a part-time employment. It gives you opportunity to acquire additional employment to meet your obligation because you're just not meeting the obligation at this particular point. You've stated that you do have obviously high school education. You've finished barbering school, given you some certification in that regard. You have a history of factory work. Sounds like that's the best work that you could do to get the income that you need to meet these support obligations, because they pay pretty well at this particular point. There are a lot of factory jobs out there, and that they are hurting for labor at this particular time. Court will find in this matter that Mr. White does and is well aware of his support obligations. In this case, that he has failed and refused to, again, satisfy those obligations, notwithstanding the fact that he is making some payments in this particular matter. The court will find Mr. White to be in contempt of court. Anything before sentencing Mr. White?
No, sir.
Okay. Sir, you'd had previously, the court had sentenced you to 30 days in jail, and I could sentence you up to 90 days in jail. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is sentence you to 45 days in jail with credit for no days served. What I'm going to do, I'll put a
Lose
purge
my
amount.
job.
Excuse me?
I said, and then we'll lose my
Okay.
job.
Now let me finish. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry, sir.
Okay, I'll let you purge yourself of contempt by paying the sum of $300 in each case. What I'm going to do is I am going to again stay and suspend that sentence at this time. What I'm going to do is schedule you back into the court on March 27, 2024 at 8:45 a.m. I want to see what you're going to do in the next 2 months to bring yourself into compliance. If I don't see anything happen in those next time, as far as better compliance than what I've seen, then you're probably at that time, you're going to go to jail. But if you do, you do better, then we'll consider at that time continuing the suspension. Again, if you're doing very well in this matter, then we could always vacate that particular sentence. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you. The court will end this hearing at 10:28 a.m. You're free to go. Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.